off air. No, it doesn't. Hi, everybody. I shaved my beard down. Still married, though. Fuckers. All right.
Zoe's feeling spicy tonight.
Muy caliente.
Hi.
All this Cuban comet talk.
I'm drinking beer tonight, guys. No more rosé.
Slumming it.
Why the hell isn't this letting me copy? Alrighty. Tweeting it out.
Hey, listen. At a Avery Brewing Company. By the way, I'm starting to think, should I sell ad space right here?
Yes, you should sell ad space anywhere. Tell them I'll wear a fucking bumper sticker on my forehead if they want it.
Hey, any beer companies?
Yep.
Give me a magnet right here, baby.
What are we talking about with the White Sox again? Oh, Moncada.
Moncada and Engel. I think I'd stress more the interviews that we have rather than the topics.
Jeez.
And also let people know that I'm 100% making a GIF of Nuke stroking his microphone like that.
Good thing we're live. That was recorded.
Yes.
Hey, the 108 had a great poll. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was like if Eloy or Kopech bust, how do you want to die? How do you want to die?
Yeah, that was good.
It was great. It was like blunt force trauma, autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yep. And then someone replied like death by alcohol poisoning, and that got like 1,000 likes.
Oh, of course.
I was like, yes.
I feel like at one point we got to have those guys on because I'm curious. I mean, like the 108ing stuff is like it's like it floods my feed. And I know they retweet a lot of stuff, but it's like all over the United States that these people are 108ing.
Yeah, no.
That other one,
we should have one of them guys on the show.
The Outcasts.
Yep.
Oh, were they on the Outcasts?
I think they're going to be.
Yeah, he was at a game and he walked over there and took a picture with them.
Yeah.
Retweeted from.
Did we ever get the Carisi story?
Who? Oh yeah, that was
Carisi.
It was a joke. He went on vacation to Amsterdam.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I retweeted it myself. What's going on?
By the way, maybe we should just like lead off with like question of the day. How long before Daniel Polka shotguns a beer in right field after the ninth?
Dude, he's the man. I love Daniel Polka.
like Stone Cold Steve Austin style. Probably a Coors Light. He's definitely a Coors Light guy.
I love Daniel Polka.
He's keeping Eloy out. If he sucked, Eloy would have been up by now. blame Daniel Polka for Eloy not being. There you go. That's gonna be my spin zone for.
We will not be that show. I will not stand for that. I love Daniel Polka.
Did you guys hear that I asked Benetti to do a home run call in Spanish for Polka?
I was gonna do it. I'm gonna like clip that and like we have to like add and be like just do it in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like prepare it and then do it.
I almost asked him to accept a challenge from Zoe to an eating contest. But I was like, nah, I can't do it.
Jason, tacos. Me and you, let's do it, and then we'll play MLB The Show, and I'll whoop your ass in that too.
Oh, he's a big gamer.
He's a huge gamer.
And he's of our generation too.
Yes.
Not all those.
My guy literally in his first major league season in MLB The Show, and I'm not kidding, I have pictures, 106 home runs.
What do you have it like on a rookie level?
Pictures.
The second to rookie, but not all the way on rookie.
Sounds like rookie.
Power hitting first baseman for the Washington Nationals. Me and Bryce Harper hitting 3 and 4, fucking your shit up all the time.
4 and 5.
4 and 5. 3 and 4. I got up to 3 now. All right, let me record, and we can actually do a show.
This is all great. I'm gonna leave all this in.
Brad. Mr. Brad Squire is giving us love.
No, the Outcast boys are good. They're good people, man.
They are. Listen to the Outcasts. They know what they're doing. They've got a full set.
Right. I have
look at my set. A high chair.
It's actually appropriate when you have to talk to me.
Oh, Zoe, what did you do to your microphone?
Disappeared, Zoe.
I'm gone again?
Stop doing that.
How about now?
Now you're
Better.
Okay.
He works in tech, folks.
Just trying to make it I'm optimizing it. My shit won't get hacked.
Osborne Cox, is your shit secure?
Why is my phone not working? All right. Anyways. All right. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Okay. Record. I'll get off my screen so I can see all my stats that are on my screen because we have stats on the screen at all times because we're accurate with our stats.
Our
stats.
shit.
Except for the one on that picture that you're going to read off that's 3 days old.
Stats. All right. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday, August 10th. It is hot as shit, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I'm your host, Matt Zawaski. They call me Zo. And with me, as always, Aldo Soto. What's up, Aldo?
What's up, man? This is another invite for Cato Kalin to please come on our show. We need him for the next Cubs Brewers season or series preview because that man is electric on Twitter.
Pure electricity. And we're going to talk about Cato later, and I know that's what people tune in for. So if you're here for some Cato Kalin talk, you're not going to leave disappointed. And the other man on the mic, and he stepped up from rosé to some craft beer. I don't know. I think it's got berries in it or something. Matt and Nuko, they call him Nuke. What's up, Nuke?
I'm drinking my fruity beer here.
It's not rosé.
Fruity. It's Avery Brewing Company, and I'm selling ad space right here on this nice, strong torpedo.
You got to stop doing that. If you were watching us live on our YouTube screen, you could see why that just made me ridiculously uncomfortable. So we got a fantastic show for you tonight. Let's not bury the lead. Let's just talk about the buzz. We have two fantastic interviews on today's show. We're going to stagger them. So the first interview you're going to hear is with future White Sox catcher Zach Cowens. He talked to Nuke for a little bit about, well, what do you say, Nuke? Just a little bit of everything in there.
What did we talk about? Yeah, a little bit of hitting. Got some perspective on him. Try to ask him about how he's developing, what his approach is at the plate, and then what if he had one skill that he would like to do better or something that he wishes he could do that he can't. I asked him that question, and I got a surprising answer.
Teaser.
Very surprising answer.
And then we're going to talk with this guy's awesome. I know there's mixed reaction to him on White Sox Twitter. He officially has a fan base on this show. I love those video game segments. He's got to bring those back. Those were awesome to watch. But Jason Benetti, the White Sox play-by-play man, just killing it for me right now. I love it, and I'm very, very excited to say that he is on today's episode. He sat down with Nuke. They talked about everything and anything you want. I'm still throwing out the taco challenge, and if you want, I will teach you how to play MLB The Show, Jason. That's straight from me. My guy did hit over 100 home runs, and it was not on rookie. Second. And I might have messed with the sliders a little bit. But anyways, so we have Jason Benetti on the show. Some of the other topics we're going to talk about today, big topic in the world of the White Sox. Is Moncada a bust? Spoiler alert, the answer is no. We're going to tell you why you should calm down. Then we're going to talk about Adam Engel and why Nuke wants to give him a statue in center field. And then we have a new segment called Talking Eloy. You're not going to want to miss that because that's just going to be straight fire what we got coming up with that. On the Cubs side of things, we're going to talk about Mr. Electricity, Javi Baez, and the MVP race in the NL. There's a rumor that a very veteran third baseman, and when I say very veteran, I'm using that term very loosely, very veteran third baseman might come to the north side. Then we have Aldo is going to give us our nice monthly Cato Kalin update. And we're going to talk about how the playoff picture is coming together. So that's a pretty damn jam-packed show. And at the very end of the show today, we are going to announce, finally, some jerk been sleeping on it, the winner of the Jose Abreu bet. So, yes, you do have to listen to the whole show to see if you won that. So with all that being said, let's tap this keg. All right, boys. Let's start out the game. Let's get the bad news out of the way early here.
It's always bad news.
This is like, I think there's only been 1 week where we had like good Yohan Moncada news. Like every other week has been striking out bad body language errors.
Can we just talk about what pace is he on? 266?
As of right now, as we record this on Thursday, August 9th at 9:07 p.m., he has 163 strikeouts. He is on pace to set the Major League Baseball record for strikeouts in a season.
But what is the record? Was it like 250?
I think isn't the record like 226?
Hold on. Let's go to the Googles.
Let's get the stats out.
Get the stats right because we're all about correct stats on the show.
Matt Reynolds for the Arizona.
Matt Reynolds, that's right.
Let's see.
And while we're looking it up, I'll do a little ditty here.
Do a little ditty.
I'll do a little ditty.
Go ahead.
It's not that he's striking out. It's that he's striking out looking and like being stubborn about it. Like taking really close pitches with 2 strikes, does not have a 2-strike approach. And from what I've heard and listened to with the pressers with Renteria, he's not.
Hasn't it been like 2 weeks in a row now? Because we talked about this last week, how Renteria finally said, he has to start.
Yeah.
And I saw that again, I think on Wednesday. You brought it up again?
You know what this means.
Yeah.
It just means Pito needs to get in his ass and get that boy straightened out. He needs to get that boy straightened out.
So I'm entering the spin zone here, Aldo.
Here we go.
This is the only. I said it today on the Sean and Maya show. Here's the only explanation that I can come up with, and it's totally false and wrong. No doubt about it. That the only reason that he sits there and keeps taking these close pitches is that somebody came to him, some analytics guy came to him with a stat sheet that said or the developmental personnel came up and said, don't swing at anything you can't make hard contact on, even in 2 strikes.
Okay, I got it. Go ahead, finish your point, and then I got the answer.
Okay. Are we not like beyond the pale in like the wild, crazy analytics stuff to just sit there and say, no, take 2-strike pitches. Take anything close with 2 strikes and just look for anything you can drive at any point in the count.
Oh, that'd be terrible, though.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the opposite of what we have to do when you have 2 strikes.
Right, exactly.
2 strikes, you're just trying to battle.
You're fighting pitches off.
Yeah, like Anthony, like the biggest Gristle like chokes up on his like halfway on his bat when he has 2 strikes.
That's a 2-strike approach. Joey Votto does it. You spread it out, you shorten up your swing, and it's like, for generations since baseball was invented, the idea is to hit the mistake, right? Pitcher's going to make a mistake, and those mistakes become fewer and fewer as you get into the big leagues. So, of course, if you miss the mistake early in the count, you got to battle with 2 strikes until they make the mistake, and then you hammer the mistake. That's the whole approach to hitting. And it's like he stands there and because I just can't accept the alternative that he's just stubborn and he's like, no, I'm smarter than everybody else. Because he can't go and say, hey, check out StatCast. Look, it was a ball by like 3 inches, or like only half the ball was on the black. Like, no hitter. I've never played with anybody who does that. And I don't know if he's doing that. I'm just saying, like, change. You got to adjust. You got to start swinging only with 2 strikes. Expand your zone and battle. So
here's the answer. Mark Reynolds, when he was 25 years old in 2009, struck out 223 times. That is the current record. Number 2 on this list, Adam Dunn.
Your boy.
At 32 years old in 2012, 222 times.
With the White Sox. That was with the White Sox, wasn't it?
Yes. Number 3 is Chris Davis in 2016, 219. But the surprising name on this list, Number 11, a 23-year-old.
Oh, that's not surprising at all. That was his rookie year, too.
2015.
Yeah.
Mr. Chris Bryant with 199 strikeouts.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing was, Chris Bryant had like a 370 on base percentage, not three, like whatever Mackay. What's Mackay?
Isn't that wild?
300 on base percentage. So he's what people thought Javier Baez was going to be.
And Aaron Judge had 208 strikeouts last year.
Oh, by the way, Mark Reynolds is on like the top 10 4 times, I think.
Oh, it's cool. If you go to Baseball Reference, they have photos of the top 24, and Reynolds is 1, 2, 3,
with different hats on.
4. It's the last team they played for, so of course Adam Dunn has the White Sox hat on as I'm staring at him 4 different times. But like, what's his face? You would know. This is your boy here,
Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard's in a Rockies uniform.
What? Really? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. But I was surprised though when the page opened and you see Chris Bryant's face. You're like, oh, one of these things does not belong here. One of these things is not the same. And that's Chris
that's
Bryant.
the thing. I mean,
I did see that.
The thing is, like, I mean, we've said it for like what is it? It's August now. We've said it for 4 months. He's 23. Yeah. This is what happened. He's gonna show the flashes of being great. He's gonna show the flashes of being absolutely crappy young hitter, and we're just seeing too much of being the crappy young hitter right now.
Yes. And that's the great part, right? Like, he could be shitty next year too, and he's only 24. And then if he like all of a sudden miraculously like has like an Avi type year at 25. He's still pretty young.
Yeah,
still pretty young.
I think the point we're all making, which somebody marked this down because we all agree, it's way too early to be throwing the B word around.
Way too early.
Way too early.
By the way, number 44 all time, 184 strikeouts in 2014. Mike Trout.
Really?
We're gonna get to him later.
Yeah, Mike Trout strikes out. He just does everything else really good too.
God damn it! Although we have a Mike Trout quota, we're gonna hit it later. We don't need to hit it right now. But
that's
all I'm gonna say for now. For
now. But no, there is some surprising names on this list. Chris Davis, buddy, you're on this list a lot.
Yeah, he's got it.
That's the thing, though. Like the game's changed. You can strike out. It's just you better walk and hit home runs too.
Right. Yes, because everyone on this list, for the most part, at the top of the list are power hitters.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Moncada has 14 home runs right now, and he is what's he slugging? He is slugging on the year 390. That's you can't do that. That was like Jason Hayward when he sucked.
He's slugging for the Cubs 390.
Yeah, 390 with an OPS of
690. Terrible.
Nice.
But again, he's 23. It's fine.
He's 23. He's fine. The only thing that I would like to see more, and you talked about it, is the aggressiveness. The 2-strike approach needs to change. That's a very obvious thing to even a novice fan. But the other thing that stands out to me is the glove work. I need him to lock down second base. I need him to lock that down. And it's still I don't have that lockdown feeling. Like if the ball is hit to the right side, I'm not like, oh, done deal.
Automatic.
I don't have that yet. No. And we talked about this last week when a young Javi Baez was struggling when he first entered the league. At least his glove was there. He was automatic. And that's what I need from Yo-Yo right now. If you're going to strike out and you're figuring it out at the plate, fine. Figure it out. Lock down the glove. I need that lockdown. That's my biggest thing with Yo-Yo right now.
I have a question for you, Zoe. Who are you more shaky with in the middle? Anderson or Moncada?
Oh, boy. Can I go see all of the above?
No, because I feel that way with Anderson.
I love Tim Anderson, and
I love him too.
It's more,
but he booted one yesterday that every shortstop makes,
and that's gonna happen. I mean, stuff like that happens. My thing with Tim Anderson is it gets so frustrating because he shows flashes of just elite defensive shortstop plays. Like when he makes plays deep in the hole, going to the opposite way, and he has a cannon for an arm, and he makes these plays, and then 3 batters later, a routine ball goes right 5-hole. You just come on, man, just be consistent. Tim's got the goods. I'm not worried about it. The mental hiccups, like that play you're speaking about, the booted ball against the Yankees, he just needs to clean that up. I think Tim Anderson's a way easier fix than Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo has a lot more work to do, but TA has the goods. We know he has the goods. It's just the mental hiccups need to be limited.
And that's gonna go away. Like Moncada's, you know, I'll put it in context of my own personal story was, you know, when you play as often as these guys do, the way you get better at playing baseball, especially defensively, is playing the game. These guys, I remember a point where I made a lot of errors early, just on sheer like nerves and playing a new position. I had never played second base before I got to the White Sox, and then I was drafted as a second baseman. The manager asked me what position I played, and I said I think I was drafted as a second baseman. All of a sudden, I'm playing second base. Never played it before. I'm like, oh my god, I'm playing professional baseball.
White
Here's a second
Sox
baseman.
scouting.
Yeah. No, thank you. So, anyway, you reach a point where it just something clicks and it becomes automatic. Just getting the ball in your glove, it becomes automatic.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I remember I was on a stretch where it was 30 games or 31 games in 30 days. I played every day, and it was just you're taking ground balls one day, like 10 or 15, 20 games in, and you're like, this is just, I don't even have to like, it just becomes automatic muscle memory. And these guys should be going through that now.
Right.
Now, I mean, there was always questions with Moncada, though. Can he handle the footwork around, second base and turn the double play? I think I haven't seen any problems with that.
No.
I think he's got the hands for it. His size, he's a little bit big for a second baseman, a little, like he definitely profiles a little bit more as a third baseman. Yeah, exactly. But he can do it. And I think they're going to give him 2-3 years. And if Madrigal forces the issue,
which he's going to,
and grows 6 inches.
Where? Hey, now.
Hold on. Let me. Don't have to be tall to not strike out, though.
Oh, jeez.
Didn't he strike out?
He did.
He did, but I don't think that's what he's going to look up.
Isn't it sad that we're looking at strikeouts?
While Zoe looks at your like single A strikeout numbers in like 2006. What do you think because I just looked at Tim Anderson's numbers and I thought he was having a better season, but I was mistaken.
It's kind of, if it was a chart, it would look like this, and this is why you got to watch the YouTube live. That's his season.
So next year is gonna be like his 3rd full year, and he's gonna go into his 4th season in the big leagues. And like the numbers are kind of like the same. His on base percentage has been below like 300.
No.
Madrigal has one freaking strikeout. 76 at bats, one strikeout.
See, here's the thing with Anderson.
So like, is he gonna replace Tim Anderson? Because Tim Anderson is kind of just.
Anderson. I like Anderson at short. I think he's going to get better. Like I said, I think the more time he has, and something to remember with Anderson that it just like blows my mind is that he didn't start playing baseball until his junior year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was drafted 3 years later, 1st round. And that's like wild to me. He went to a community college. He's only been playing baseball for 8 years.
That's a very fair point. It's a very fair point.
He went 7 for 7 with 3 home runs in like a junior collegiate game one time. And he was like, yeah, that's when I thought I maybe had a shot at getting drafted. I think he hit like over 4 bill, like close to 500. He had like 20 homers, like just like crushed it. And he's got athleticism. I mean, that's all, that's there. It's evident. And then, on top of that, learning how to like, truly play baseball and like it becoming an automatic, like we said, second nature, muscle memory, kind of like just the entire game. That's going to come. But also, it can't be ignored kind of the turmoil he's gone.
Right.
He's endured the past 2 seasons. So I think he's coming out of that. Next year, it's got to be a change.
Yes.
And it's his 4th. It'll be his 3rd full year. It'll be like 3.5. He's going to be considered a veteran on the team. He should be settling into like, okay, I know how to play this game now. I know that I can hit this pitching. I know that I got power. I got speed. I don't have to be emotional about everything. I got to, tighten up my defense. And I mean, that's what I want to see from him. But if Madrigal comes up,
Are you talking about Nick Madrigal that's only struck out once in 76 at bats?
He's 5'6".
Yep, but I guess striking out doesn't have a height limit, I guess. But anyways,
does he get hits? What's he batting in Winston-Salem?
316. Austin, suck it. Yeah.
No, he's not.
What? Yes, he is. He's batting 316. I'm staring at it right now. We're all about stats on the show, damn it, Nuke. I'm staring at the stats. He's batting 316 right now.
All right.
With an OPS of 732.
We should also mention the milestone that Jose Abreu just passed. 20 home runs in 5 consecutive years.
Yeah, so I've already made up my mind because we don't have the time, but next week's show is going to be heavily dedicated to how the world needs to know how good Jose Abreu is.
How the White Sox wasted yet another superstar.
Because Jose Abreu is a freaking stud. He is he is a very good baseball player. But anyways,
I had a Yankees writer just message me like a few days ago asking like, what do you think? Do you think the White Sox would trade Pito? And I'm like, no, they won't. Don't worry.
Nope. Because they know Zoe. If they trade Pito, Zoe's coming to 35th and Shields. And hell's coming with me. And he's going to put on. Oh, buddy, I just got fired up for a minute. I got goosebumps.
You did. I haven't seen that. This is why you got to watch live. He had the hand going. He was like, I'm coming to 35th and Shields.
Oh, I'm coming, Rick. Han and your big. What is happening?
Where'd you go?
I don't know.
Why did the Jackson 5 just play in my headphones?
I don't know. We couldn't hear you.
That's on your end, though. I have no clue what happened.
That was really weird. All of a sudden,
don't act like that's not your cell phone ring.
No, the Jackson 5 just started playing in my headphones.
Whatever you're about to say about Rick Hahn, some White Sox
intervene.
Somebody.
Dude, that's some CIA weird shit. But Rick Hahn
Benetti is watching right now.
And your blank check, just know you don't trade Pito. But anyways, speaking of future Hall of Famers that need statues, Adam Engel.
Yes, he does.
Jason Benetti's guy. He went and in back-to-back games against the Yankees made like sick video game home run catches.
Trout plays.
I'll ask. Yes. But it was extremely comical and Nuke, I know you were doing it all in good nature. I started it up.
Go ahead.
But Nuke tweeted something out like, "Who wants to cut him now?" And I know you were joking, but there was a huge chunk of White Sox Twitter that was like, "He's amazing." And it's like, okay, guys, he's still slashing 217, 267, and 297 with an OPS of 563. He's not the center. They were great plays, fantastic plays, and to do it in back-to-back nights. I mean, you probably have better odds of winning the lotto than doing that. Like, that was fantastic. But people need to calm down with the Adam Engel stuff.
He is not. He is not. You know what he is?
Bad.
Yeah. At the plate, yeah. Stop. Goodness.
He's your defense. He's your ninth inning
defensive replacement.
That's what he is.
But that's what he is. And I think I don't think he's under any kind of a what are you laughing at?
Do you know what he is? Bad. That was fantastic.
It's like your updates pushed on SM on the SM. Tyler Chatwood sucks.
Like 4 more runs the other day. I'm like, all right, go on.
No, but I agree with you guys. I don't mind him on the roster as a defensive replacement. And
would you rather have him or Charlie Tilson?
I'd rather have him.
Charlie Tilson could hit.
Well, that's what right. But you got a young pitching staff. You need defense more than you need offense.
Yes, I actually think I would rather have Adam Engel. In 2 years when the White Sox are, in that playoff contention and they got to make that 9th inning substitution.
Adam Engel's not going to be the team.
You're not subbing out Lou Bob, though.
Lou Bob's got some work to do. I do like what he's – we could do another show about how the Winston-Salem team is an all-star team. The Winston-Salem team is a high A-ball all-star team right now.
Yeah, well, they won the first half.
And they're disgusting, and they're having so much fun. And what's his face? I can't think of the manager.
Omar Vizquel. Yeah, the artist.
Did you see his lineup
awesome.
card?
It's pretty wild.
It looks like a scroll from Game of Thrones. It's fantastic.
It's a magic scroll.
And see, that's.
Wait, Nuke hates Game of Thrones though.
I don't even know what it is. I don't understand it.
Oh my god!
It's like, are there monsters? Are there?
Is
it mythology?
Yes.
Or is it just a bunch of like medieval people
based off
with
books.
a midget running around?
Yeah. Good imagination.
Whoa.
Good imagination, English teacher.
I mean, it might as well. I think it started. I think it starred Nick Madrigal.
Oh, Nuke got all of that one.
You bastard.
Nuke got all of that.
I'm gonna write Baseball Reference right now and say change that home run total from 3 to 4 right now. That was a good one. You bastard. You got me good. All right. Well, on that note, let's segue in. As promised, up and coming catcher in the White Sox system, Zach Collins. Follow him on Twitter at ZachCollins0. He sat down with Nuke. Well, didn't really literally sit down, but he talked to Nuke. So let's go ahead and roll that interview with Zach. All right. Thank you again, Zach Collins. I've been a fan since you started.
I'm a fan.
The system. I can't wait for you to be behind the dish here on 35th and Shields. Thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. It's another guy that we're rooting for. So let's go. Oh, you know what I forgot to do before the interview? My new segment that I promised everybody.
Here we go.
Eloy is still crushing baseballs, and Kopech is still throwing gas, and they're both not playing for the White Sox. And that was talking Eloy and Kopech. That's our new segment.
All right,
told you it was going to be electric. So
next.
Now let's go on to the north side. The big talk of the town on the north side right now is Javi Baez and where he stands in this MVP race. Now, Cubs fans, weird, stop me if you heard this before, are being way overly biased with the love for their Javi, but I like Javi.
They're biased.
I know. I tried so hard to avoid that. Way to step into that one. Cool. Way to come back down to earth. You were riding so high off that Game of Thrones joke, and you just like Tim Anderson's season. But
success is not linear.
We have Javi Baez in the MVP race. Obviously, he's up against the biggest one, in my opinion, is Matt Carpenter. Matt Carpenter,
right now,
he's just playing lights out baseball. You got the guy in Colorado. I can't think of it. Nolan
Arenado.
And then there's a couple other wild cards in there, but those are pretty much the top three. And looking at the stat wise, Carpenter is leading in on-base percentage, slugging, OPS plus, WAR, the WRC plus, and the WOBA. Those are some heavy nerd stats, but Carpenter is in the lead in all those categories. Javi does, although correct me if I'm wrong, he has more RBIs.
He has 25 more RBIs.
That's a considerable number there. It's not.
He has 18 more stolen bases.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Carpenter?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Carpenter doesn't steal bases. Javi Baez is going to have a 30-30 year.
But Carpenter doesn't need steal bases because he's never on base because he just bombs.
Jacks
home. Here's the thing. I don't know if you guys want like a big reaction on me, but I mean, I don't think Javi Baez is the MVP winner right now.
Why don't you? And coming from you, I'm not surprised because I know you're a very rational human being, unlike 90% of Cubs Twitter. But I want to know from you why you don't think he should be the MVP.
Well, I mean, overall, the number, I don't. Well, this is the thing that we get into every year because I mean, we could argue that Mike. Okay, I know we're going to limit our Mike Trout thing, but like Mike Trout should be the MVP every year in the American League because he's just flat out the best player. Correct. But then every year we're like, well, if you take Mike Trout and you replace him with another player, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Or everyone has their own opinion of what the most valuable player award should mean.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like, is it the best player on the best team? Or whatever it is, or is it like just the best numbers? Right.
Yeah.
Like right now, my only big thing is that whenever you want to talk about Javier Baez as being the MVP, you just get this immediate pushback of there's no way he could be the MVP. But if it was like any other player who's the best player on the best team, it'd be like, oh yeah, no, that's a pretty good argument. He's the best player on the best team. The Cubs they have the best record in the National League right now. He's been their best player.
Yes.
I would give. I mean, Matt Carpenter has had a stupid like last month and a half.
Correct.
Yeah.
If we're going like off the numbers here, I mean, it's Matt Carpenter.
Right.
But I mean, also, it's not crazy to think that Javier Baez could win it. He may not end up. I mean, the on base percentage thing. His slugging makes up for it, because he's basically having the same. Like his OPS is near like at the top. There is near the league leaders. So it's not like he's like, oh, his on base percentage is only like 330 something. You know, his OPS must be really down. No, because his slugging is still the third highest.
Right.
So his overall OPS is still the same. He leads the league. I think even though Carpenter has the 31 home runs, Baez has like 7 triples. He has like 30 something doubles. So I think he still leads the National League in extra base hits. And I mean, I don't know.
So if
I think that if
is he the front runner right now? No. Could he be? And like there's still like a month and a half or a month and I don't know 3 weeks left. Like he could be. Like that's not crazy. That's not a crazy thought. I don't know why everyone gets so angry when you bring up Javier Baez in the MVP discussion. That's my big thing. Like,
Carpenter went off. Carpenter went off the past month. Like you said, stupid numbers. Arenado is good.
Yes.
He's definitely in that conversation. But I think Javi, you know what, and even for me, it's kind of hard to stomach because you're like to talk about him as an MVP because you're like, but he hasn't been in that conversation.
Right. It's the giant leap. It's the giant leap.
Right. Carpenter's always been like very, very good. Arenado has had some terrific years and he's still young. But Javi, offensively, you're looking at it like you did Avisel Garcia last year. We were like,
go
really? You know, like not. But I would put him in there. But I think what Avi's going to have to do is he's going to have to do it in a big game situation where the pressure's on and he's going to have to carry his team just to get that extra bit of respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I mean, we've talked about it on previous shows where like we were saying like, all right, if he carries them to a World Series, yeah, no doubt he's the MVP.
And that's the thing, he has the attention right now. Like it's gonna go back to the Cardinals are gonna finish like in 3rd place in the NL Central, and they're gonna be like Matt Carpenter, you know, nice season. Here's your like Silver Slugger award.
Wait, time out. If you think you're gonna text me this and I'm not gonna call you out,
what's that?
Our boy East, and I know he's watching because he just texted me. All he texted me was, I picked up and dropped Carpenter in fantasy baseball.
Oh my god! Didn't he have like Ohtani and he benched him right before he had like a 2 home run?
It's a rough year, East. I'm sorry, brother. It's just that was too funny. That's just good content. But here's the fire take of the show that I don't think people were expecting. I think Javi Baez is the National League MVP.
Love it. I mean, it could happen. That's the thing. It could happen. There's still
I know.
7 weeks left.
Here's my reasoning.
He's got 88 RBIs already. Well, not already.
In every major sport, I am a huge advocate of the MVP needs to be the most valuable player to his team. And in a year for the Cubs where your former MVP, Chris Bryant, is down.
He's been missing for like 35% of
the year. Anthony Rizzo, decent year, but not very Rizzo-like.
He sucked for like 2 months.
Same with Eddie Russell. Same with Kyle Schwarber. So these big names that you have that you expect these fantastic things out of.
Hayward came alive.
He did. He did, but he's now back kind of.
Javier Baez. The team like rides high when there's some stat where the Cubs are like 6-12 when Baez starts and doesn't get a hit.
So not only is he right now, because you brought this up earlier, and I think I'm gonna go back to it. So there is 2 trains of thought with the MVP. Is it the most valuable player? So if you take Javi Baez off the Cubs right now, there's no way the Cubs have are where they are? Or is it the best player on the best team? Well, guess what? Javi's that too. So either side of the coin that you're on this, Javi Baez is, in my opinion, the NL MVP. And I know we joke around in chats, and I'm the first one to be like, "Oh, he's the best tagger in the league." And I'll think that's hilarious till the day I die. That Cubs fans love
and the best fighter. He's the best
fighter
too.
Yes, but I have morphed into this Javi Baez fanboy because he is electric.
Fun to watch.
He makes baseball fun. Baseball can be a very boring game to watch sometimes, and I love everything about baseball. I'm a huge baseball. That's why obviously we do the show. But Javi Baez reminds everybody how fun this game can be and why you play it as a kid. And I love it, dude. I'm a Javi Baez guy, and try to come at me from either side of the coin because you're gonna lose because Javi checks both those boxes. Matt Carpenter, yes, sick year, fantasy, way to go East, but sick stuff. But Javi Baez, in my opinion, is the MVP of the National League. And feel free to at me on that one because you will lose.
Oh, and by the way, you can't even say that Javier Baez just like swings at everything and strikes out all the time because he only strikes out 23.6%.
Not this year. Yeah, not this year.
It's not like he's just like some free swinger. He just hits for a high average. He's hitting, I think he's over 300 or close to 300.
I mean, he's not Nick Madrigal, but he's doing all right. Go ahead. Sorry,
No, I was just going to agree with you. You hit next segment.
So the other thing that we want to talk about the Cubs, and you want to talk about characters, there's no bigger character in Major League Baseball than Adrian Beltre. And
he's so fun.
He's riding off into the sunset. Texas is in the toilet, sitting at 51-65. There's 17 and a half games out of the wild card. Not going to happen. Season's done. Beltre's riding on the sunset. Still got a little pop in his bat, but, he's, like I said, he's getting older. But came out in I forgot who broke it.
John Heyman.
John Heyman came out and said, and I just thought it was so random, but Beltre said, "Yeah, I'd accept a trade to the Cubs." And it was, "Oh, okay, sure." Like, I would take $10 million.
Here's the thing: the good news is that he's a 5-10 guy or 10-5 guy, yeah. So he can basically block a trade if he doesn't want to go.
Right.
So the good news there is if there is a trade, if the Cubs do pick him up on waivers, they could negotiate something, and he'd be like, "All right, let's work something out."
Right.
However, if it comes to the point where the Cubs do that, that means that they don't have that much confidence that Chris Bryant is going to come back healthy. Because why else would you trade for a 39-year-old third baseman who's like slugging 390?
Is he only 39?
Yeah, he's 39.
Yeah, well, he's 39. It's like that ID with a picture that says "I am 12."
He's Danny Almonte.
Well, he started when he was like 19, didn't he?
I think you're right.
His major league debut was on 6/24/1998.
There you go. Yeah,
I was in 8th grade when Adrian Beltre made his MLB debut.
Oh, jeez, I was in first grade.
Jesus.
But right now, this year, he's batting .276 with a .332 OBP, .717 OPS.
I mean, I'd love it. He's a great clubhouse guy.
Yeah.
Dude, he's hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious. And he indicated, though, early in the season that after this year, he might hang him up, which, might be time to. But maybe he would be the lackey. I'm not here for a haircut. He's, can come in.
Got to get his ring.
Just be somebody that's not like Tommy La Stella or Ian Happ playing third base, because that needs to stop happening. Because for some reason, Joe Madden has some obsession.
I forgot he was out in Boston for a year. Sorry, I'm just.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He's been with a lot of teams.
Dodgers to Seattle to Boston for a cup of coffee, and then the last
Rangers
3-6. I can't count. 3, 6, 8 years in Texas.
Wow.
Here's the thing with
get him anyway, or before to get him anyway, just as an insurance.
No, exactly. I don't think you lose by getting him, because a guy like that walks into a clubhouse that's already pretty tight and strong. You bring him in, everybody's head's turning. Everybody's like, yeah, we're going to be all right. Like, we got him. And he's a career, almost, I think he's a career 300 hitter, right? I mean, he's up there.
He's right there.
He's obviously not what he used to be, but I mean, yeah, he I don't know.
Career 286.
Just
286. All right.
He's insurance. He's a backup in case Bryant comes back and he's like not healthy still, or he just can't come back, whatever.
And obviously, Cubs fans are riding the bot wave pretty hard right now. I mean, he's no Polka, but whatever. And
that is David Bote to you, sir.
Bote.
Put some respect on that man's name.
He has been playing well. I mean, there's no denying that. But Polka's awesome. Anyways, I don't want to get too deep into this. He's a 30.
In conclusion, get him, Theo. Get him.
In conclusion, it doesn't hurt, and it'd be awesome. Pitch hit in the 7th inning for the starter in a playoff game, and you're rolling out Adrian Beltre. I could think of worse guys. But so it's not that big of a deal. If it's not going to cost a lot, get the guy over. And it's almost like an honor that out of every team, he's like, trade me to the Cubs. So he's feeling pretty darn good about the Cubs' chances.
But he already has like half his teammates there. The Cubs already traded for Jesse Chavez, Cole Hamels. The Cubs are using the Rangers as their own personal farm system.
Nice. That's actually awesome. And the last thing I'll say, put a little bow on this. Him and Javi Baez together would be must-watch television.
That would be cool.
I would, yes. That'd be must-watch television.
So many people angry.
Eastman, East is definitely all over this live stream right now. You wanted me to mention that Beltre played with Chan Ho Park and Raul Mondesi.
Ooh, Chan Ho Park.
See, he's dropping knowledge, and he's also dropping Matt Carpenter. Bazinga. So after that, let's get into our other interview because I don't want to hold this one back anymore.
This will be a good one.
This is a very personal honor for me. I've been a fan since day one when they brought him up. Jason, I hope you're listening to this. I really enjoy your call on college football games. Yes. I think it's fantastic. And again, the offer stands if you want to have a taco eating contest or if you want to get worked up in MLB The Show. You know where to find me now. All that being said, White Sox play-by-play guy, Jason Benetti, fantastic guy, fantastic interview. I'm very pumped to be doing this intro right now. So go ahead and spin that interview. Podcast magic. So that was Jason Benetti. Follow him on Twitter if you're not and you're listening to this show. That's really weird. But anyway,
how about Benetti taking the high road, not calling out Garfine?
I was disappointed.
I think that's just the kind of guy he is, man.
Hey, just stand-up guy.
He did put Steve Stone and Don Cooper together on an island.
That's right.
His interactions.
Just imagine that.
For some weird reason, Don Cooper would still find a 12-pack of Bud Light on that island.
He may lose his teeth. I don't know if he's got all his teeth.
He would find
him gumming his food.
But Jason Benetti,
gumming a coconut.
The reactions he's pulled out of Steve Stone with his time together in the booth with him are fantastic. It is. I'll never say an ill thing about Hawk Harrelson. I know there's a lot of people's opinions on Hawk. I'm not going down that road, but it has been a nice change of pace with Jason in the booth, and it's appreciated. His knowledge of the game is very appreciated, and he makes me laugh. Dude, that video game series he did last season with the players, and he whooped some ass, and he let these guys pick the game, and he would whoop them up, and it was fantastic. So, Jason, thank you very much for coming on the show. Obviously, open door. Anytime you want to come on here, shoot the shit, whatever. Anytime, bud.
What kind of tacos would you eat?
We'll return the favor, too. We'll come into the broadcast booth.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll fly out to Chicago for it.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what.
I'll do the food segment.
I'll bring you back to Chicago after I fly out to Jersey to pop my bottles on your front lawn. But they would need to be soft shell tacos.
Okay. You're a burrito guy.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Me too.
But, yeah, so Oh, now let's get to a new segment on the show.
Is this Mike Trout?
No, this is not that. This is the once a month Cato Kalin story. So take it away, Aldo.
Cato Kalin. So Thursday's game, the Milwaukee Brewers are on their way to be within one game of the Cubs. They're leading 4-2 in the top of the ninth. They have their closer on, Corey Knebel. He walks the first three batters. Hilarious. He gives up an infield RBI single. So it's 4-3. He gets taken out for former White Sox closer, Joakim Soria, who on a 1-2 pitch gives up a go-ahead grand slam.
Ooh, that's got to sting.
That sucks. He apparently got hurt like during that at-bat or something. He just made it up.
Sure he did. Like that kid in fifth grade football that fumbles the ball and all of a sudden he broke his ankle. But anyways, go ahead.
We call that in Chicago the Cedric Benson. Let's see. Okay, so he gets taken out. They bring in some other guy, Barnes. He gives up a home run. It's 8-4, and that's pretty much it. The Brewers lose 2 of 3 at home against the Padres, who apparently are like the hottest team in the National League now because they just won 2 out of 3 against the Brewers, who have the second best record in the NL, and they split at Wrigley Field against the Cubs in a 4-game series. So apparently the Padres just decided to be good this week.
So obviously Cato responded very rationally.
Cato Kalin.
Yes.
The amount of times this guy has quit Twitter over it's basically every time the Brewers lose, he quits Twitter, but then he comes back. So while this debacle is going on, Cato goes, haha, I've only said this 1,000 infinity. Knebel's pitching is beyond diarrhea, which is what a description there. At Brewers fans, you really want Counsell as manager? Knebel just sucks. He effed up again. He's not a closer. How can Counsell not know this? Management is pieces of shit. It continues.
Oh, God.
Counsell, you know nothing about managing. You have Knebel on team, and you know he sucks.
Oh my God.
Brewers.
I just saw how many tweets this is. Go ahead. I'm going to get a pill.
Going.
Oh, this is long.
He's like, people are tweeting him, and he's retweeting them too, which is hilarious. Counsell just quit 3 straight walks, and you keeping him in game. You just blow. If Milwaukee fans had the balls, they would hold up fire Counsell signs over dugout. Knebel, you ruin everything. You suck.
This is great. I mean, I feel like we need to get what's his name? Who's the actor that Morgan Freeman
from Major League?
Morgan Freeman to read this.
I thought you were talking about what's his guy? Who's the Brewers radio announcer?
Can I take the next one? Let me take the next one, although I love these interpretation.
He skipped Soria. Wow, he got off easy on Joakim, who gave up the grand slam.
And the next tweet that follows, Barnes at Brewers. How can these at MLB pitchers look in the mirror and accept their paychecks? My tweets from April-August should have been read by Pistachio. In parentheses, horrible owner. If he took only 10% of my advice, we would win over 80% more games. Counsell must be fired. Pitching effing sucks. And then this is how he gracefully bows out. Okay. Goodbye, Twitter. At Brewers - same post game by Counsell coming up. The guy is he's useless as a man. The guy is useless as manager. I wish fans would realize this. I'm really upset. He uses Barnes and Knebel and insert all names here. Blank space. Period. The wheels are off, and the team knows this. But organization cares less. Hashtag sad.
This is great. This is great.
Cato Kalin, you are a gem. America's favorite house guest. You have open invite to come on the show.
You're welcome on the show.
And talk Brewers, Cubs at any time. These tweets are absolutely hilarious. And yes, Eastman, we should have Bob Uecker read these tweets because that would be fantastic.
And I have a question. This reminded me of a story. Can I share a quick story?
Quick one, because then we're going to talk about playoffs. All
right. Well, it has to do with being in the dugout. So I don't know if anybody remembers Sean Markham.
Yes.
He was a reliever. A buddy of mine that I played
Yeah, he wore high socks. I remember him.
Yeah. So he's a little strange. A buddy of mine that I played college baseball with played with him in the Cape League, the Cape Cod League, and he always told this story. I died laughing, but I guess you have to know about like signs in baseball and everything. So he said he was in the dugout one day and he looks down and Markham just like kind of leans out from like the whole crew, like like they're all just like in a line in the dugout, and he just like leans out and he says, "Schwartz," which is my buddy, and he like leans out. And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hat indicator," and he goes like this. It's just like,
Again, watch us live on YouTube.
That was a great video. That was a great story for our podcast.
Not great for podcast, but if you're watching the video, it was like.
Again, we tweet the link live every Thursday night.
Check us out for that gem.
You should. There will be more.
Yes, and you can watch. There, you could probably make about 50 reaction gifs from me from one show. But anyways. All right, let's bring it home with let's talk about playoff races. Well, this is going to lead to your Trout thing, dude. Come on, stay with me here, Nook. So the American League is pretty much spoken for.
So Trout horny.
Yeah, Boston already has 81 wins. Mookie Betts just hit for the damn cycle tonight. This team is just unbelievable. Got a weird feeling though that they're going to be regular season heroes. And then Cleveland, Houston, division leaders. Yankees and Oakland are wild card teams. Seattle's 3 games back out of the wild card, and then there's 20 yards of shit. And then there's the LA Angels, who are 10.5 games back, and everybody else is 10.5 more.
Oh my God,
so
the NL Central.
Being 10.5 games back from the wild card, what might the Angels do, Nuke?
Blow it up.
And who's leaving reportedly?
Blow it up. Oh, Sosha. Sosha's calling it a day.
Connect the dots, and that's talking Mike Trout to Chicago. So now going to the National League, this is where this is wild. National League is a race right now. Philly, Cubs, Arizona are your division leaders. Milwaukee and Atlanta are your 2 wild card teams if the season ended right now. But then the Dodgers, Colorado, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Washington, and San Francisco are all within 7 games of the wild card. So basically everyone is still in it in the NL except for the Reds, Mets, Marlins, and Padres. They just suck. So that's insane to me, though. I don't think we've had it this tight in one at this point in the season for quite a bit.
I think the last time there's so many close races was it was like the year before. When was it? Well, I think it was the year before Theo Epstein came to the Cubs when the Red Sox blew the wild card against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yes. And
it was both leagues. I think like somebody in the AL East blew the wild card there. I think who was it? The Braves or something?
2011. Maybe the Pirates.
It was 2011.
2011, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
2011, and like both of the wild cards came like to like the very last day.
But that was when, right? But didn't Tampa Bay blow it?
No, Tampa Bay won.
Right.
Tampa Bay was playing somebody, and they came back in extra innings.
That was
like
a wild game,
and they won. Baltimore beat Boston like on the last day, like at the very same time. It literally happened like within minutes of each other. Like Boston lost, and then Tampa Bay won. Tampa Bay snuck in.
Yeah,
and something similar happened in the NL. I forget who the teams were there. But yeah, these races are great.
It's
great for baseball, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic for baseball. And I personally, I just have this weird feeling that your 2 wild card teams are going to be the Dodgers and the Braves. I think Milwaukee's going to be the odd team out.
So who do you think is going to win the West? The Diamondbacks?
Yes. Diamondbacks. I think Diamondbacks are riding hot right now. LA's got the horses to do something, but and Colorado too, though. Still, I mean, see, here's what I think. I think there's 1 team in the East and probably 2 teams in the right. What is it? No, wait a minute.
Yeah, because the Phillies are in the division lead right now.
1 team in the East, probably one. I don't know, dude. 2. probably one team from the Central as a
No,
wild
see,
card and one team
that's
from
what
the
I'm
West
saying.
as a wild card.
I think the Central doesn't get represented. I think the Cubs are the only Central
Really?
team in the playoffs.
So
Yes.
the Brewers blow it again?
But
Yes.
Milwaukee, right?
I wanted to have him so
Milwaukee's-
bad so I can read more Cato Kalin tweets.
Well, they finished one game back last year, and this year, I mean, yeah, it's going to come down to the wire again.
And I know they made a lot of moves. You know, they kind of a bit aggressive, but I just don't see the Dodgers missing the playoffs. And
do you know what the other crazy thing
that's
is?
what I see. Yeah.
You know what the other crazy thing is?
What?
It's not just like how, I mean, obviously it's close, but like for best record, the Rockies are only 6 games behind the Cubs for like just the best record in the NL.
The Rockies are sitting at 60 and
Who?
54. The Rockies.
Yeah, but they're not the best record in the NL, right?
No, the Cubs are with
Cubs are.
66 wins.
Yeah, but I'm
Right.
saying like the Rockies are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're the 16 back, but they're only 6 games behind.
Right. Exactly.
So it's
They're
like, I mean, even that is kind of
it.
open-ended.
Right.
And that's what I mean. Like Milwaukee is
66 and 52.
right. They're the front runners right now for a wild card spot, top wild card spot. Atlanta's in, and then it's like LA, Colorado, and LA and Colorado are a game and 3.5 back.
You
LA
know what I
is
think
1 game
happens? All right, here's my prediction. If we're all doing predictions from like now on
Dang.
for the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so obviously I'm not gonna. The Cubs win the Central. I think the Dodgers pull out the West, and I think the NL East pushes out the Brewers.
You think really?
So
Okay.
Philly or
that's-
Atlanta
yeah.
make the push?
So Philly or Atlanta, either one of those wins the division, and then I think the Nationals like get on a hot streak.
Really?
Oh, shit.
See, like that is a good point. Because Washington can do it at any time. I don't know why they're not. It's kind of an enigma that they're
were
not
like the
doing it.
Cubs last year. Their hole was just too big.
And they only have 7 less wins than the Cubs.
Right. Yeah, they're 6 games out of the first in the East, but they're
Right.
5.5 out of the wild card.
4.5. Or maybe I
4.5 behind.
That might
5.
have changed. That might have changed tonight. I haven't
According to
refreshed
Baseball
it.
Reference, it's 5.5 right now.
MLB has them at 4.5 jerks. Figure it out. So
Get your stats right.
but
Jesus.
basically I think because although I'm with you,
I mean, it's wide open though. That's the point. It
Yes.
could be any one of these teams.
September is going to be fun in the NL.
yes. There's going to be a lot of good baseball, a lot of meaningful baseball.
Yeah.
And obviously meaningful games make for better watching. And I'm really excited. And I mean, just from a Chicago point of view, you kind of got to be a little excited too to see the Cubs getting healthy. Knock on wood. You know, like Yu Darvish, Chris Bryant.
The Chris Bryant thing, like he hasn't picked up a bat yet.
Right. And now this Adrian Beltre talk and just I don't
David Bodie to the rescue.
He's no polka. But
They're going to trade for Mike Trout. LA's putting Trout on waivers.
he's gonna go to the Dodgers. Everyone else goes to the Dodgers.
What do
Why
you
would
think the
Trout?
chances are of Trout clearing waivers?
I
Well, no,
think
that's the thing. Like anybody can claim him.
Yeah, I have a better chance
He's
of
got to
beating.
pass through the division first. He'd never
That's
get
true.
out of the division.
I have a better chance of beating Usain
Texas would be
Bolt
like,
in
we'll
a
give you the
sprint.
entire organization.
Yeah. Shit.
Actually, Seattle would probably do it.
Oh God, you know what I just forgot, guys? The Cubs still play the White Sox in September. If the White Sox end up being like,
Spoilers. Yes, polka time. He's gonna hit 20 home runs.
it's at Guaranteed Rate Field too.
Yes, he's gonna hit 56 home runs all
yeah.
to the 108.
No,
That's
because
great.
Tyler Chatwood isn't starting anymore, so that's not gonna happen.
So here's an interesting inverse statistical anomaly. Polka has more home runs than he has doubles.
Oh wow.
That's 17 homers and
Polka's,
11 doubles.
Polka's a beast. I am a huge fan.
I can't believe we didn't talk about Polka as a possible rookie of the year.
No,
No, I know you're right. That's
but
that was a quick discussion. That was our discussion.
but
the
Leave it
thing
to
with Polka, and I'm a fan, but that makes me sad, is because he's probably going to be the DH of the future for this team, meaning Matt Davidson has no space.
Guys, Daniel
who's moving
Polka
the ball?
and Matt Davidson are like the same player.
Right, but Polka just hits more bombs.
Farther. They're just gonna have a
right.
total mileage.
Can we talk about how Matt Davidson had just
No.
the only reason that he was any good this year is because of the Royals?
Yes, well that's accurate. But
Yes.
He needs to transition to just be a reliever.
And his scoreless 3 innings.
That's my take.
Yep.
Do it. Do the opposite of Rick Ankiel. Rick Ankiel went from pitcher to hitter.
Yep.
So Matt Davis needs to go from hitter to reliever.
He's got one hell of a 12-6 curve. Ask Giancarlo.
And he was pumping low 90s.
He's better than Lucas Giolito.
Oh,
yeah. Gio's been okay lately. But anyways, all right.
He's gonna be all right.
You guys got any final things you want to bring up before we call it show?
Mike Trout's traded by the end of the year. That's a total lie. I couldn't even believe it. It was like hard to get out.
Yeah, well,
no, but LA, this was our Trout segment.
See, this is what happens when you stop drinking rosé and start drinking beer. You start talking crazy shit like this, and
LA's got to talk. They have to think about it. With Sosha going, they got to think about it.
Well, I know a certain GM who said he has a blank check.
Ooh.
See, that's the opposite. Han, you make that happen. I'll come to 35th and Shields. I'll bring the 30 rack of Busch Light, and we'll go nuts. Although you got anything?
Maybe we got to get Han on here.
Dude, would he come on? Rick Hahn, you're invited. There you go.
You can always ask.
Rick Hahn or the guy
He's
that
probably
runs,
watching right now through his burner.
Rick Hahn or the guy that runs at not Rick Hahn. Either one.
Either one will take him.
Welcome on the show. Yeah. Although you got anything before we call the show?
Cubs are going to sweep the Nationals, which goes against what I just said about the Nationals heating up.
Way to hedge your bets, bud.
So
way to hedge your bets.
I'm going to be right either way.
Hedge your bets. I got nothing. Happy 21st birthday to my lovely wife. And yes, I said 21st, so now you can't get mad at me.
Oh.
So for Aldo, Nuke, I'm Zoe, Pinwheels and Ivy Pod, and you know what I almost did? I just almost ended the show without saying the winner. Almost did.
For the second week in a row.
And our winner is, drum roll.
The winner is, well, first and foremost, thank you everyone that left reviews, DM'd us. We definitely felt the love in the reviews. Don't stop. Tell your friends to leave reviews. Keep leaving those reviews. We really appreciate it. But we went to random.org. I put in the numbers on every review, and we ran it a couple times. And it turned up Cuban Comet 9. So Cuban Comet 9, first of all, get a Twitter account. Second of all, if we need you to email us, the email address is pinwheelsivypod@gmail.com. Pinwheels is plural. pinwheelsivypod@gmail.com. You have basically a week. If you don't get to us in a week, I'll send a tweet out. I'll do as much as I can to get in contact with you, but you'll have no contact information except for your iTunes account, and there's no way to contact you. Cuban Comet 9. Everybody else, we're going to have contests all the time. Maybe we'll have a wine tasting with Matt and Uko. You never know. We'll raffle stuff off all the time.
We'll swirl, sniff, and savor.
And then drink wine.
There you go.
Rosé.
Oh, no, you son of a bitch. So, all right. Cuban Comet 9, pinwheelsivypod@gmail.com. And if anyone else hearing this, if you want to email us any suggestions or any questions you want answered on the show, you could always DM us on Twitter @pinwheelsivypod, or obviously email us there. Or next week, I'll give out Matt and Uko's personal cell phone number. So for Matt and Uko, Aldo Soto, I'm Matt Sawatsky. This is the Pinwheels and Ivy Pod. Be good to each other, Chicago. We'll talk to you next week.
I didn't even have the energy to catch it.
Rick, go get Mike Trout.
That's a better one. I like that one.
It's direct.
I listened back to like that little snippet or whatever of the podcast from Rick Hahn. And literally the only thing he says is, we'll have the resources to go down swinging, which translates to, we're not going to get a big free agent.
Well, that was so funny.
Oh,
how
yeah.
like things get contorted. Did you listen to
yeah.
Benetti? Yeah, exactly. Like, they never said it. He said checklist.
Which I mean, it's kind of semantics though, because I mean, it's
exactly. I mean, there's a checklist. You're checking off things.
Although we are still live. What's up?
Are
people?
we? Oh, we are.
We need to talk about checking off boxes though next week.
Here we go.